Hi, I'm Jeff with Precision Replacement Parts. Today I'm going to show you how to install part number 76836E8200. It's the inner seal for the quarter glass for a Z car. It fits the left hand and the right hand side. It'll fit a 240, a 260, and a 280Z. Today I'm going to be putting it on a 260Z. On a difficulty scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most difficult, it's probably about a 4. It's somewhat labor intensive. Tools you'll need are screwdriver, weather strip installation tool, weather strip adhesive, a knife, and we recommend PRP 0075. First thing you need to do is remove the various screws that hold in the trim panel to get access to the actual glass. So the screws are here, 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 and then this one right here yet. And that'll allow you to get the plastic trim out. Now I've gone ahead and removed the screws already. So the hardest part is going to be this trim piece here and this one. So you want to kind of pull it out this way. And we can set this off the side. Now we're going to go ahead and remove these 4 screws, and that'll allow us to take the window out. I have all 4 screws removed from the back side here, but before we push the window out, you need to remove the door weather strip. So we'll pull it right off here. Now the window should come right out. And we can get started replacing the gasket. Now that the window is out of the car, you're going to need to remove this outer seal just by pulling it and ripping it off. It's glued on, and that's going to allow you to get access to some screws. But the first screws you need to remove are 2 here. Ours are missing these screws, so we don't need to remove them. But what that does is there's an L bracket right here, and that holds it in place. And then when you get to around this corner, there's 2 screws here you have to remove. And on this window, we kind of left it together to show you what's going to happen. Is the 2 screws here, once you get the outer piece off, there's a good chance that you're going to strip them out because they're just in there that tight and they're old. And be prepared for that. You'll have to drill these out and replace the screws. And this is the L bracket where the 2 screws hold it together. So what's going to happen is you're going to be able to pop this piece off, and then you can grab the glass and the gasket and just slide it out like that. We drill out the old screws and we put new ones in, but one thing to keep in mind that's critical is that you don't want the screws sticking through the metal very much at all. So you may have to cut screws or find a very short screw, because if it's too long it's going to impede putting the gasket back into the frame. First thing you want to do when you're reinstalling this is actually put the gasket onto the glass and then put the gasket into the frame. I have the one side in here, and what you might want to do is actually put the corner in first after that. Now it's going to be kind of tight, that's the way it's supposed to be, so you're going to have to actually stretch the gasket over the glass. You can use a weather strip installation tool to kind of open up the channel and help the glass slide in a little bit easier. And once you have it seated all the way onto the glass, you're ready to put it into the frame. A trick that we highly recommend when you're actually putting the gasket back into the metal frame is some PRP 0075, which is our weather strip lubricant. And what you want to do is actually put it on the sides and that'll help it slide into the metal channel a lot easier. Kind of get it lined up. And because of the design of the frame, if you got the edge of a table, you can kind of hold it flat on. And then just push straight down. And you want to make sure you get all the way back in this corner too. This is by far the hardest part of this job, so you just need to take your time and work it into it. Alright, we have the bottom section in, or technically the vertical section here. Now we're going to work on this section. Same idea, apply the rubber lubricant. Make your job a lot easier here on both sides. Kind of check to make sure everything's seated in there. Okay, now we're ready to put the other piece back on, and it'll help kind of pull everything together. The last step we're going to do is actually put this piece back on, and once again you need some weather strip lubricant, which we'll put on here, and then we're going to get this end on and then slide this end over. Then you want to make sure you got it right on the back side. You kind of got to start it right here, push it down. We're not going to put the screws in just yet because we want to get this side over. And with a new gasket, everything's going to be a little bit bigger than the old one that you took out. So you're might have to kind of stretch this out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of squeeze this together and put the screws in here to hold this in, and then I'll come back to the other side. We have the screws in on the one corner now, so we have to do the other corner right here. And probably the best way to do this, if you don't have an extra set of hands, is push down with one hand. And start the actual screws with the other hand here. I'm going to finish up this last screw here. One important thing to note is the orientation of your new seal. You can see there's a longer side and a shorter side. The longer side goes toward the outside of the vehicle, so it goes against the actual frame right there, just like this. And that's how we're going to put it on. And what you need to do is take your weather strip adhesive and run a bead down here. And then we're going to place the weather strip on, and then we're going to use some tape to tape over it to hold it on while the adhesive sets up. So I have some tape pre-ripped to the side of me. Okay, now we can run a bead along the other side and keep applying it. As you can see, we have everything on, taped down, and ours is purposely too long, so you're going to need to cut it. A razor blade will work just fine as this foam rubber. So you want to kind of cut it even with this. Now you just need to let the adhesive set up per the manufacturer's instructions before you install it back into the car in the reverse order that you took it out. We're going to go ahead and install the window back into the actual car. Now being this is all a new seal, it's going to be a little bit firm. You're going to have to use some pressure to get it back in here. It's going to seal real tight. Kind of slide it in there, and you can kind of see right in here where the screw holes need to line up. Okay, once you get these lined up, start screwing them in. This is going to be somewhat of a difficult job because the weather strip is all new, but just kind of push back and in and get the screw holes to line up, and you should be good. Now that we have the window securely in place, we can put the trim piece back in. It's kind of like the opposite of how you took it out. Get it all in place, and you can put all your screws back in. Last thing you need to do is actually reinstall the door seal. And you are all done.